Okay guys, let's get to know our vocabulary for the week. We are going to start out by reading the vocabulary words in text, in context. We'll look for clues that can help us understand the meaning of the word. Once we have a good guess about what the word means using our context clues, then we will actually go back and check the actual definition on our list this week. So, we're going to start out with our first word, imagine. The text says some artists paint real things, other artists paint things that they imagine. So as I read the text, I'm picking out these words. Some paint real things, others, meaning maybe they're about to tell me something that's the opposite. Other artists paint things that are imagine. So that makes me think that real things and imagine are maybe antonyms, or mean the opposite. So I would guess imagine means something like something you make up or think up in your mind. So let's actually check the definition and see what it says. Imagine, to see a picture in your mind. So our guess was pretty close using our context clues. Number 2 is tools. Artists use tools such as brushes, pencils, and markers to make art. So again, as I look at the text, artists use tools. So these are something they use. And then they give us some examples. And I know these are examples because it says such as. Tools such as brushes, pencils, and markers to make art. So I'm thinking, based on my text clues, that tools must be items used to do a certain job. The actual definition is things people use to help them do I believe that's a typo and it should be job. Yep. Things people use to help them do a job. Sketches. Painters often make sketches or rough drawings before they begin to paint. Remember, we've talked about the word or. Usually if you see or in a sentence after a word you may not know, that usually is a sign or a clue we're about to get a synonym. So this word or helps me understand, or helps me guess, that sketches and rough drawings are probably synonyms or have similar meanings. So I can guess sketches probably means something like a rough drawing. The actual definition says a quick drawing without much detail. So a quick or rough drawing. Tracing. Using see-through tracing paper lets you make an exact copy of something. Again, as I look at the text, it says using tracing paper lets you make an exact copy of something. So these clues make me think tracing must mean something like making an exact copy. The definition says, copying the outline or shape of something on see-through paper. So again, the actual definition sounds very much like some of the clues in our text here. Illustrate. This artist has started to illustrate or draw pictures for a storybook. So our clue word or makes me think that draw and illustrate must be synonyms or have similar meaning. So I think illustrate must mean something like draw. Illustrate means to make pictures that show something. Making pictures is the same thing as drawing. So illustrate means to make pictures that show something. Scribbles. Most children make messy scribbles before they learn to draw well. So there's a couple of words here that stick out to me that could help me guess what scribble means. The first one is messy. Messy scribbles. And then it says they make messy scribbles before they draw well. So that helps me guess that scribbles must mean messy drawings or drawings that aren't quite very good yet. Scribbles, drawings or doodles. drawn in a quick or careless way. Careless and messy mean the same thing. Okay, our next word is research. Sometimes artists need to do research to find out what things look like. So when I see the words find out, that makes me think research is when we figure or find information out. Research, careful study of a subject or problem. So that means that we're studying, we're trying to figure something out or find certain information. Textures. Papers can have different textures. It can look and feel smooth or rough. So those are big clues there that helps me understand texture means the way something feels. And we can even use words like smooth or rough to describe texture. So I'm guessing texture means something like how something feels. The actual definition of textures, ways that a surface can look and feel. Again, we see these words in our context clues. So that is our vocabulary for the week. I want you guys to complete the practice page, okay, using what we just reviewed in the video. You can go back and look at certain definitions if you need help, but think about what we just reviewed, and I want you to read the definitions over here and figure out which vocabulary word they match to, and you're going to write the letters in our boxes just like we've done before. We've done this before. At the bottom of the page, you're putting your words in alphabetical order. Alphabetical order on the bottom. On the back, you're going to do foursquare for the word scribbles. Remember, foursquare, we do the word in the first box. The second box is where you're at the definition to the word. In the third box, you either write a synonym, a word that has the same meaning, or an antonym, a word that has the opposite meaning. And then finally, draw a picture that's going to help you connect to the meaning of the word. Draw a picture there that will help you remember what the word scribbles means. And then the bottom of the page is a simple complete the sentence using the vocabulary word that makes the most sense. So after putting in a vocabulary word here, you need to read the sentence and make sure it actually makes sense. Sometimes we put words in there and we don't actually go back and read them and make sure they sound right or make sense. So for example, my teacher blank a plant and labeled its part. Her drawing was amazing. If I put the word tools in the blank, now let's read the sentence. My teacher tools a plant and labeled its parts. Her drawing was amazing. Doesn't make sense, right? But if I were to insert sketches, my teacher sketches a plant and labeled its part. Her drawing was amazing. Now that makes sense because we know a sketch is just kind of a quick drawing. So that one would sound right and make sense in the sentence. So I want you guys to complete this page together just to start getting to know our words. When we're finished, when Ms. Roberts is finished with her reading group, we will go over this together and check our answers.